Well, right now on Daybreak, the White House Correspondents Dinner evacuated after a security incident. The president and vice president safe and someone in custody. Plus, a fire on Seneca Street in Buffalo now under investigation. See where it started and what business is impacted. And a new deal putting pressure on a Dunkirk drug plant's revival. We have the details and reaction from Chautauqua County.
Live from 2 on your side. This is Channel 2 News Daybreak.
And a good Sunday morning. Thanks for joining us at 6:30 on this April 26th, 2026. I'm Rob Hackford. Thanks for being with us. So we've got Kevin O'Neill in the Weather Center with the check of the forecast to start you out this morning as we are getting to the other 50% of this weekend, Kevin, and much better at that.
Yeah, right. A 50-50 weekend, stuck in the 40s with rain for much of our Saturday, but as promised, today, by far the better day of the weekend. Lots of outdoor time. The grass is liable to be a little soggy, but lots of time for outside gardening, playing with the kids, whatever errands you want to run. 41 degrees and a lovely sunrise across western New York today. There was a special weather statement issued by our associates at the National Weather Service for some areas of fog. This is our visibility contour, we call it. So they were worried about 190. And also along Lake Ontario, so we'll keep an eye on the fog for you this morning. So I do have areas of fog in the forecast officially. No rain to track across western New York. We are tracking improving sky conditions. In fact, we will show you again as we improve from partly cloudy to mostly sunny for our day, and I think we do get the 60-degree mark. So I got us down for a high of 61, a mostly sunny mostly sunny Sunday. Good news for your Monday and Tuesday forecast, Rob.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin. We want to get right to some developing news from overnight as President Trump and other high-ranking officials were abruptly evacuated from the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It was following a security incident at the Washington Hilton Hotel with shots fired and one person taken into custody. NBC's Alice Barr has more from Washington.
Chaos and confusion at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, where President Trump, the First Lady, and other high-ranking officials were swept out of the room. The Secret Service confirms there was a shooting incident near the main security screening area, saying the President, First Lady, and all protectees are safe, and one person is in custody. The President addressed reporters back at the White House.
To see a man charge a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons. And he was taken down by some very brave members of Secret Service, and they acted very quickly. One officer was shot, but saved by the fact that he was wearing obviously a very good bulletproof vest. He was shot from very close distance with a very powerful gun, and the vest did the job.
Security was tight for what was President Trump's first time attending the Correspondents' Dinner as president. A rare moment when the president, his cabinet, and top congressional leaders are all in the same place at the same time, along with prominent members of the media. Witnesses reported seeing top officials pressed to the floor and under tables by Secret Service. The president initially wanted the dinner to restart and now says it will be rescheduled in the next 30 days. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Well, thank you, Alice. And the suspect has now been identified as Cole Thomas Allen, 31-year-old from Torrance, California. Allen worked as a teacher and video game developer, according to public records. It's also confirmed that the Secret Service officer was hit by gunfire during this confrontation has been released from the hospital. Well, 6:34 on Daybreak. Into some other news. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused a fire on Seneca Street in Buffalo at a jiu-jitsu or martial arts studio. It happened just after 6 o'clock yesterday. We're told it started in the back of the building, and according to a spokesperson for the city, was mostly contained to that area, although a tremendous amount of smoke along Seneca Street. Investigators are also working to learn more about a partial building collapse also in Buffalo. This was the scene earlier yesterday morning on Dote Street near Stewart Avenue. You can see here more damage as well. We're told there were no injuries and building inspectors were at the scene. And some brightening news this morning. A plane full of second chances arrived at Buffalo Niagara International Airport last night as a local dog rescue and local groups were there to receive dogs from Texas. 2 on Your Side's Alyssa Clausel was there as they arrived to share the journey of these very eager animals.
On this plane, Precious Cargo is better known as Puppy Cargo.
Once a month, we help take dogs from Laredo, Texas.
37 animals, mostly dogs.
It's a kitty cat.
Kitty. And a few cats, making the journey over 1,000 miles from their overcrowded Texas shelter.
They reached out and said that, listen, we're really struggling down here, and we're taking a lot of dogs in, and not a lot of dogs are leaving.
Julie Starr is the founder and president of Buddy's Second Chance Rescue. She says that these dogs would likely meet a different fate if it weren't for trips like this.
Unfortunately, a lot of these dogs would end up euthanized. Yeah, there was actually quite a few dogs on this transport who were considered code red. That one dog we actually pulled only had 2 hours left.
They've been helping Texas shelters since 2013.
We hate to talk about it, but it is something that has to be talked about sometimes. So yeah, Texas is pretty tough. You know, I know a couple of our other, shelters, our rescues here in Western New York also help other places in Texas.
With the new lease on life, these pups are making what you might call a pit stop.
They'll make sure they're all up to date on their vaccines, they're microchipped, they're fixed. They go into foster homes, they go on a 5-day hold to make sure behavioral and health-wise they're all set to go, and then they'll be put up for adoption.
Just one step closer to the perfect home. On Your Side, Alyssa Clausel, Channel 2 News.
Well, thank you, Alyssa. And community leaders, researchers, and students came together in Buffalo this weekend for a day focused on health equity. The annual Research Day at the Buffalo Science Museum, hosted by UB's Community Health Equity Research Institute. The event highlighted community-driven programs and academic research aimed at improving health outcomes across all of Western New York.
We know that many of the projects really have immediate implications in our communities, and so the whole point is to help improve healthcare, health outcomes for everyone across the region, and I think we are making some change.
Well, those in attendance had a chance to explore and listen to presentations, attend panel discussions, and connect with local organizations working to address health disparities in our region. Now 7:07 now, and we're hearing from Buffalo Mayor Sean Ryan after a New York State appellate court ordered Buffalo's comptroller to move forward with issuing bonds for hundreds of millions of dollars in long-delayed projects. The ruling ends a months-long legal dispute that city leaders say stalled more than $200 million in work. Well, Mayor Ryan says the ruling will help get things back on track.
The court ruling was good news for the city of Buffalo. We're going to be able to get a lot of capital out on the street this year. We'll be able to start redoing some of the streets, some of the projects that have been long overdue in the city of Buffalo. And I thank Council Member Nowakowski and former Mayor Scanlon for helping to bring this thing to a resolution.
Now, the comptroller, Barbara Miller-Williams, responding to the decision, saying in part, quote, "The more the city of Buffalo borrows, the more the citizens and taxpayers will have to pay in property taxes. My responsibility remains to safeguard the city's financial future, requiring careful consideration of the long-term impact of these decisions." Now on to some Buffalo Sabres news. They'll be back on the ice for Game 4 against the Bruins this afternoon as the team prepares for another face-off at 2 p.m. Channel 2 sports reporter Jonathan Acosta continues our coverage from Boston with the power play still a major talking point from the last game.
What does Noah Ostlund have for a following act? Game 3 Thursday night here in Boston saw Ostlund make his playoff debut, one in which he shined with 2 huge points to help lift the Sabres to a 3-1 win over the Bruins. With Game 4 right back here on Sunday, the Sabres hoping for an encore performance at TD Garden. Ostlund with a goal and an assist in that Game 3, now getting elevated opportunities. The Sabres putting Ostlund on their top power play unit, a unit that has really struggled on an extended drought and yet to score this series. After seeing what he did Thursday night, the Sabres hoping some of Ostlund's creative spark can help turn around the power play.
You know, the hands match up, his playmaking ability. We had some great opportunities last game that I think we have to bury our opportunities. But just another try of maybe catching a little bit of fire.
I think everyone saw his game the other night, and plays extremely hard, and he's got a lot of skill and thinks the game at a high level, and can shoot the puck well. So I think they got to respect his shot over there. You know, you have one-timers on both sides and a little mix-up too sometimes just to see if things click. So I think the great thing about our group is when the power play is not going well, we have a lot of guys that can jump in there and do a good job. So I think Austin is going to be great over there.
As for an injury update, no Josh Norris at practice after he missed Game 3. Lindy Ruff calling Norris day to day. Game 4 between the Sabres and Bruins right here at TD Garden, Sunday at 2 p.m. On your side here in Boston, Jonathan Acosta, Channel 2 Sports.
Well, thank you, Jonathan. And coming up, the Buffalo Cherry Blossom Festival is back in full bloom and celebrating its final day. We'll have the details coming up on Daybreak. Now, the cherry blossoms are in full bloom in Buffalo, just in time for the 13th annual Cherry Blossom Festival. It kicked off yesterday, and even though it was rainy, it didn't put a damper on their beauty. People still came out to see the trees in the Japanese garden behind the Buffalo History Museum, just with some umbrellas in hand or a jacket. There was plenty to do inside the museum as well, with live performances, music, origami, food trucks, and more.
It's walking into the garden and knowing that the serenity of Japan is right here in Buffalo. And the reason it works for us right here in Buffalo is because of us, our community.
I think an event like this means a lot to us personally, but I think to this community, just to be able to, a couple days a year, acknowledge and celebrate this thing that we have here. It's just an amazing opportunity.
Never thought about it, but Robbie Takek's hair matches the blossoms. Look at that. And the festival starts back up today at 11 a.m. There's also a pink parade at 3 in the afternoon to close out this year's festival, but still plenty of time to enjoy the blossoms. Oh, welcome back. A live look outside over the city of Buffalo this morning. Nice sunrise on this Sunday morning after what we went through yesterday. This is very welcomed across Western New York. 6:46 right now on Daybreak, and the 2026 NFL Draft is officially in the books after 3 days in Pittsburgh. The Bills traded out of the first round and didn't make their first pick until number 35 on day 2. We got a rundown of everyone they selected this morning. The Bills started off selecting outside linebacker TJ Parker from Clemson. Also in the second round, the Bills selected cornerback Davison Igbinosun from Ohio State. In the fourth round, it was pick 102. Buffalo selected offensive lineman Jude Bowery out of Boston College. With pick 125, they added wide receiver Skylar Bell from UConn. And at 126, the Bills selected linebacker Caleb Elarms-Orr from TCU. And in round 5, pick 167, Buffalo took safety Jalen Kilgore out of South Carolina. 181, they selected defensive tackle Zane Durant from Penn State. Round 7, pick 220. The Bills added another cornerback, Toriano Pride Jr. from Missouri. With the 239th pick, they selected punter Tommy Doman Jr. out of Florida. And their final round 7 pick, the Bills closed things out by selecting guard Armaj Reed-Adams from Texas A&M. Well, the third and final day of this year's draft was over. But before things wrapped up, the Bills went across the border. They went over to Canada for a special live draft pick announcement. The first draft pick for the team announced in Canada. They held a fan fest in Niagara Falls at Friendship Rock. Fans could watch as the team announced the pick live from that location. Organizers say it was a great way to bring fans together from both countries.
Awesome. Feels good to have it done here in Canada.
Yes.
We love you, Bills.
The draft is such a special moment in the NFL calendar, and we really wanted to be here and be this wonderful gathering place with a beautiful Niagara Falls in the background with all of our Canadian fans.
And if you were at the Falls last night, they were lit up in honor of the Bills draft pick. Bills colors, a little blue and red action going on at Niagara Falls. So pretty cool. And first draft pick announced in Canada, although, there's plenty of people watching